class, which includes the property maintenance code, is actually in Columbia, and that's scheduled for August 17th and 18th.
Okay.
So that, I mean, you're welcome to, that's a recommendation I have.
Okay.
You know, that's, you know, could be helpful. I'm not sure how much of that, because they don't list that as a reference, there shouldn't really be any property maintenance questions on the permit tag.
No. I was
at least
asking
it
more
wasn't
from
the
a
one
personal.
that I took, yeah.
Yeah.
There was things on there like, it might be different now, that's been like 9 years ago since I took mine, but permit fees. We calculate ours totally different than what, I mean, and you sort of had to learn how it was going to be, you know, from the building code, what the, I guess the
Right, because
the
don't they do it by
basic
square
is.
footage or something? Or they used to years ago when SBCCI was doing it. They
It was
did
just
by
a little
square
different, so if
footage.
you hadn't had that little pre-knowing what to expect,
Right.
you know, the test was...
Yeah, and that's what we do with the permit tech class,
that's very
is
good.
we're not just doing, you know, stuff that's just has to do with your job that isn't on the test. Now, we take time to talk about those kind of things that are important to you, but we try to move through all the topics that are going to be on the test. And we're going to do a session this afternoon on plans, and we're going to have some group activities so that everybody participates. And anyway, but yeah, that should be helpful, because I've got some feedback, and that's one of the questions I was going to ask too, is for folks that have taken it. You were saying you took it several years ago, right? So it has changed immensely since 7 or 8 years ago. I'm not sure, when did you take it? Okay.
Did you take it with SBCCI, or did you take it once it would turn, once ICC was doing the testing?
About 9 years ago.
Yes, that's me.
That's probably about SBCCI
That's
time.
probably when ICC first started
Yeah.
doing it, but it's changed then even more some now.
Right.
And the feedback that I've gotten from at least 2 or 3 permit techs that have taken it recently was that the plans and asking questions about a sheet that they give you with some information on it about plans, they stumbled on that because they didn't know exactly what to look for.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that this afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we've got flood zones as one of the training classes that we'd like to see. Maybe at one of the meetings that we hold in Columbia, John, maybe we'll
Yes, it
have
could be,
you,
or DNR,
depending on
floodplain
the
management.
attendance that we get, maybe we'll have you redo this again.
But let's see how it is first. You might not want me to do it again.
I doubt that. So we'll talk at the next meeting maybe about some more training classes, because we may have more people there at the next meeting in October that can give more suggestions on what they would like to see that might help them as well.
Now on the flood, I don't know, I mean, is there a lot of areas, or just us?
It's mostly,
But
well,
all
it's
just on the
mostly
coast?
toward the coast.
So it might not be
Yeah.
something that everybody would be interested in.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing with
Right.
the flood. But at the same time, even though don't think because you're not on the
I
coast,
think
you're
we have
not
the
gonna
rivers
flood.
and other stuff.
Because
right?
there's I mean they those rivers and stuff and creeks are going to flood.
I mean, there's just so many
I mean-
rules that they want you to enforce, and everybody has different opinions on
And
it. so
everybody,
that's-
even the permit techs, need to be familiar with what is considered, you know, in a flood zone and what to do in case it is, you know. So
Exactly. I mean, I think it would be beneficial for everybody if we could get a state representative to come and speak to us about that. And I know the lady that we had here was last year.
Was
I
she
think
left?
that she
She was a
attended
FEMA.
one of our
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
And
she was here when Gary Wiggins
excellent.
spoke, I think, and everything. She was here. And
She's
that's-
no longer with DNR though. I think she left.
Oh, did she?
Well, I'll have to see if I can find another contact.
Yeah.
If not, I can check
Yeah,
with my
Maria,
floodplain
I know
manager.
Maria Cox was, I mean,
And I
her name
deal
was
with
Cox,
her.
it's something
Yeah,
else now.
Yeah, I deal with
She
her too.
was
So.
at the thing I went to the other day. That was because we have that community rating system.
Yeah,
That we
CRS,
get
right.
cheaper insurance rates, and she was there for that. So I
Yeah.
don't know,
And see
Nanette,
that-
if that was a. I know
Not
it's different
everybody may
people.
know about the community rating systems too, so that would be a good thing to have them come in and
Right.
talk about that, because then you could take it back to your building official and show them how potential it is you come to permit tech meetings.
And the reason
That
that's
is why-
important to understand what the community rating system is it's not just about flood.
Oh, no.
I mean, how you handle your flood ordinance is only a small portion of that rating.
Exactly.
how you conduct your building department is, and what education you have, your building officials,
Yep.
what continuing ed you have, what inspectors have, your record keeping, all of that's
Oh, yeah.
part of that. So
But
yeah,
the
that's a
most
great
important thing
topic.
is that, like, Hilton Head is a 7, your people get a discount on their flooding.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
Hilton
lower the
does.
number, the better you are.
We get audited, and then, yeah, you get
Yeah.
to drop your rates, or drop the numbers. And
I mean, I think Hilton Head is
Right.
maybe the only jurisdiction in the state that actually has.
Yeah,
I
Trudy
thought they were
was-
going for a 1, but I don't know if they got.
Yeah,
one or not.
I think they are. I know that because we just got ours 2 years ago for Bluffton. So ours isn't that good yet because we just opened up.
Right.
But that's what they're pushing for too, because we stole most of Hilton Head's people.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I thought I heard Trudy was at the meeting that I was at the other
Yeah,
day and
Trudy's
said something about a 3. I think
Yeah.
there might be a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's low, yeah.
But that's still
Because
good.
we're like an
That's
8.
very
We
good.
were supposed to go to a 7. Something happened with our auditor, and anyway, they're going to look into
And
that.
they have a new person now that's doing South
There was,
Carolina.
or I know Mandy Todd was at. Oh no, she's with ISO.
It's not Mike
Bratcher.
Bradford anymore. Yeah, he's with somebody else now.
But well, we had one at the Beaufort County with Arthur Cummins and all, and it was Mandy Todd was with ISO, and I heard her say his name, so I don't know.
All right. I just want to touch on this again and remind everybody, volunteers for committees. We still need volunteers for the committees that we have. So just keep that in mind. I mean, whenever, because like the nominee committee is a perfect example. Robin and Sharon Ray are the only 2 on the nominee committee. So, I mean, we really need, and Neva, you're on
The communications.
communications, and it's just you, or was Aretha
Me,
on there?
I think Aretha may have been on there, but I haven't. I don't know what happened to her.
Okay.
I haven't seen her in a while. But my, Cecilia at the city where
That's
I
right,
work,
Cecilia,
she's on
that's
there
right.
with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is, we have maybe 1 or 2 people for the different committees that we have. So just keep in mind that, to volunteer for the committees and everything like that, because they need help. Because it's just like Robin said, it can't always be the same people. It can't always be the board members doing it. It's got to be the members too. Everybody's got to get involved to keep the organization alive and growing. Okay? New business, we already did the next meetings, which I threw in with events. Sorry about that, guys. Fundraisers. Does anybody, what do you guys think about the fundraisers? I've gotten negative and positive feedback myself from people about them, but I want to know what you all think about the fundraisers that we've been doing.
What other ones have you done besides the baskets? Are
We
beautiful
did the
too.
baskets, and then we did the
They're prettier in
painting.
We
person.
did the Jim Booth prints last year.
But they didn't go as
Oh,
well as
that's
the
right. I think I went to that
baskets.
meeting. I did see
everybody
those.
loves
That's right.
Yeah.
The baskets are
Yeah.
good.
Okay. I mean, do you guys notice that people are still good with buying tickets for the baskets and things like that?
Quick question. Didn't you do a donation form or whatever at some point in time and everything for, say for instance, if companies wanted to
Oh,
write?
it's sponsorship form.
Sponsorship
Yeah,
form.
yeah, I did that.
Okay,
It's
I
on the
thought-
web.
Because I know that, with, depending on when you go to solicit donations and everything, or if they want to give you a monetary sponsorship and everything, there were people that had reluctance in going to somebody because, 1, they didn't know what to say, 2, they didn't know, because some companies, depending on how large or small it is, wants to be able to claim it as a tax write-off or whatever, so they want that sponsorship forms to submit to the accounting department. So we do have that available if anybody is interested in, in doing that.
Exactly.
We do
Yeah, I
have that
forgot
all drawn
about
up,
those.
and
I forgot about
So
those.
that's something that can be considered. I know that if anybody has ever been in like organized sports where they've had to solicit donations, if y'all can provide any feedback or any information as to how y'all do it. I know that I never have. I've always went to people that I knew that owned companies, but going to other companies, like see with BOASC, they have an exhibit board. If you look behind you, and what they do is they create a booklet, and they actually put the company's names on the board as well as in the booklet. so that they feel like they're getting representation for the money or whatever they're donating. Because people will see that and say, oh, well, this company here or whatever, if I need this kind of service, and they're getting that promotion in the name of the company out there. So if y'all know of, say, anybody that has been involved in soliciting business, if they want to come and just kind of give a brief scenario on how they do it, because I know I have been very reluctant. I've been very reluctant to approach somebody that I don't know to ask them if they want to donate something.
And see, we can do something similar to that board, but we could do it on our website where we have,
sponsors.
Exactly what our sponsors are and stuff. But I don't know, I mean, how do you all feel about doing something like that where we do the sponsorship and try to get donations from people and have a sponsorship like that? Do y'all feel comfortable talking to people about that and trying to do that?
I know my number one thing when I ask people for money, they say, what's it for?
Right.
And then you say training, they're like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's
Well, I have to throw the picture of the baskets. That's what I use. It's like, oh, look, you could win, and that's what they bought it for. Not really why they were donating, is just what they were buying it for.
And see, and I know a lot of people, because we're so new, just like the first time when we had our meeting last in February, the last meeting we had, when I called up to the fire academy, the lady's like, "You're with who?"
Oh, I know.
She had no idea who we were. And I think it's because we're not getting our name out there the same as everybody else. And I'm wondering if we do some sponsorships, maybe if that wouldn't help in getting the name out there and maybe getting us a little bit further along.
I was going to mention something too. Now that we have the website, you should try to see if your municipality will put a link to our website on their site. That will kind of help too, to kind of spread the word.
Yeah.
When people are looking at things.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And if you've got somebody specifically that you're calling to ask about it, talk to your building official, and get them to maybe email them or something and say, listen, the organization, the Permit Tech Association of South Carolina, is going to give you a buzz, and this is an organization that's partnered, part of the Building Officials Association, and work with us, and so if they can do a little, if it's a big, like Fire Marshal's Academy, for example, if you need, get one of the building officials to email or call those folks, that way they know who you are when you call.
Right.
So, don't hesitate to ask your building official to do a little phone call or email so people know who you are when you call and ask them.
And then just along this same measure too, last time around with the other board members, we had talked about maybe going to some of the counties or the municipalities that we don't see at the meetings, and maybe presenting to them or to their building official what the Permit Tech Association is, and seeing if we couldn't recruit that way. I don't know if anybody would like to do something like that, or if they even think that it would work. I'm just throwing it out there and seeing what you all think about doing something like that to try to recruit more members. If you know of any counties that may be close to you all that aren't members, maybe if you could set something up, and if you want one of the board members to do it, that's fine, or if you feel comfortable doing it, that's fine. But at least that way maybe we can draw more people in to the association and get it out there more.
How many of you are able to be here for the next couple of days? Okay.
I'll be here till tomorrow.
Then you guys that are here, don't hesitate to strong arm some building officials. I mean, you see a building official from Greenville County, go up and introduce yourself to them. Tell them who you are. I'm on the board with the Permit Tech Association.